Hi, this is Roy and welcome to Cooking with Roy tonight. We're going to do some pork chops and these are going to be done in the oven. So to start out with, it's just a very basic recipe, but these are pork chops I purchased at the grocery store. And I just took a regular sheet type pan and covered it with heavy duty aluminum foil. Now you can use regular aluminum foil if you want to, but that's a gamble. There's maybe a 50-50 chance that you're going to be scrubbing the pan afterwards. So it's worth a little bit more if you have the heavy duty foil. There's not much difference in the price for you to be able to use that to do this with. So all we're going to do, we cover the pan for cleanup, and once we've got the pan lined, you just want to lay these pork chops. You don't want them to touch. You want them to be almost touching, but not quite. And just lay them on the pan. And we're going to add some salt and pepper to them here in just a minute. Get out of the angle of the camera there. And this pan holds 8 boneless chops. If you want with a bone in, that is just fine. I don't eat them at all. I'm fixing these for my family and for my pet Isaac. But it's a very simple recipe. It does take just a little bit of time to make it, but it's primarily in the oven. So now we've got everything on the tray. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to just sprinkle over some kosher salt. Or you can use pink salt or black salt, whatever kind of salt that you want to use. And then we're going to sprinkle with pepper. And so far, should seem pretty simple to you. Now all we're going to do is we're going to put these in a 350 degree oven, and we're going to let them bake for about 40 minutes or so, and we'll have a look at them and flip them. Now we'll warn you, if you're doing this and you have a deeper pan, it's going to take longer for these pork chops to brown and cook like you want them to. So what we're going to be looking for in the end is one that is still nice and moist in the interior, but you want it to have a little bit of a brown texture on the outside. So doing these in the oven seems to be the best way to me to prepare them like that. Now you can do a quick sear on the stovetop if you want to, but this is just the way I do them, and it seems to work best. So I'm gonna throw them in the oven real quick, and we'll set a timer for about 45 minutes. And I will see you in just a little bit. So it's been almost 45 minutes. The timer is counting down right now. And we're gonna take a look at our pork chops. Okay, turn our timer off. So we have on one side, they're nice and they're starting to brown just a little bit on the edges here, and you see the salt and pepper. But you also see there's still quite a bit of water in them. So at this point, what we want to do is we want to give them a flip. Turn them over. And be careful opening your oven, because you can get a nice unexpected facial if you're not real careful when you open that oven up, because there is some steam coming out of these as they're cooking. So now that we've got all those turned over again, we're going to do the same thing to this side we did to the other side. We're going to add some black pepper, and I like a table grind black pepper, a little more coarse ground, not the fine pepper. It doesn't make you sneeze as much, for one, and it just gives a better taste to your food. And then We're going to add a little bit more kosher salt. Not much. And if you're someone who cannot use salt, then don't add salt to this. Of course, if you're eating pork chops, I'm assuming that salt's okay with you. So we might as well do the real deal. And at this point, we're going to put these back in the oven. And I'm going to set my timer. Again, we're going to go about 25 more minutes. And I mean, they're basically done right now for all general sakes and purposes. But you want them to brown and have that nice caramelization. You're not going to get that if you don't cook the water out of it a little bit more and let them brown up just a little bit. And you'll see what I'm talking about. We'll check on these in just a few more minutes. And I'm just taking the pork chops out of the oven. And as you can see, they have got a really nice brown color on them. And on both sides. And most of the water has cooked out of them now, and they are nice and tender on the inside, but they got the good crust on the outside. So you're going to have a really good baked pork chop experience here. And I just have taken them out, so I don't want to cut one open right yet, but I will in just a couple of minutes after it's had a little bit of time to rest. And that's one of the things that's really important. If you are cooking any type of meat, whenever you take it off the heat, you need to let it rest a little bit so that the juices can redistribute throughout the meat. If you cut it when you first take it off the heat, it's going to ooze all of the juice out of it, and you're going to wind up with a piece of meat that's going to be really dry and maybe tough. If it's not tough, it's still going to be dry. So you're going to need to have something to offset it. A lot of times that's why people barbecue. So they have the sauce because the pork gets really dry. But these are simple to do, and it's a good meal. It's easy. You just need about an hour to do it in your oven. And if you don't want to use your oven, you can also grill them, or if you have an air fryer, you can put them in an air fryer. I would say about 15 minutes on one side, and then flip them and do about 7.5 on the other if you're going to use your air fryer to do this, depending on the type that you have. But this is just a very simple throw together supper that you can do, and I'll cut one of these in just a moment. So as you can see, we're going to cut this pork chop open. It's just nice and tender and juicy, and it's just falling apart basically. And it just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of love, and you can prepare anything you want for your family and your friends, host your parties. I find simple is better, and simple is better in a lot of ways, because if you have a simple meal, most of the time it's easier to prepare and it just tastes good. And also, you're not spending a lot of time in the kitchen. You're able to enjoy your friends and your family with the food that you prepare. Let me know if you have any questions or if you have any comments. Please leave them down below, and I ask that you subscribe if you like these types of videos. I look forward to doing more for you, and if you have suggestions, I'll be happy to try to do anything that you can find. I like to cook. I've done it for many years, and I look forward to being able to give you the type of content that you want. So please give me your feedback. Let me know if there's other types of meals that you would like to see prepared, or other items you'd like to see prepared. I'm very versatile in the kitchen, and I'm willing to go out and get those meals assembled for you so that you'll have some ideas. And I thank you so much. God bless.